Hello everyone, how are you? Today we are comparing then and now pictures of Edinburgh. How are you? Hope you're happy and healthy and well. Yeah, today we are doing something we haven't done for ages, where I find old pictures of Edinburgh, photos mostly. I've never done a painting yet, but maybe I should. Photos of Edinburgh, and then we try to set up in the exact same spot and compare the pictures from then to now. I love doing this. I haven't done it for absolutely ages. Again, rules have changed here in Scotland again. Things are opening. Hairdressers and barbers are now open. Garden centres are now open. We are slowly getting back to life here. But yes, so I've got three old pictures of Edinburgh. One of them is just stunning. I'm going to save it till the end. And we're going to, set up. I'll try to find the exact same spot that this picture seems to be taken in, as close to as possible. And then we'll compare it to, what it looks like now. Okay, so we are here on the Royal Mile, and that is the old tollbooth tavern right there. You'll recognise it because we've done it in a couple of videos recently, but this is our view. Just before, it's quite windy today, so I apologise if the wind, you can't hear the wind. Left hand side, right here, that is the Museum of Edinburgh. It's actually great for a visit. It's free and it's a lot bigger than it looks on the outside. It is huge. It's got loads of, if you want Edinburgh history, you nip into there. And of course we've got the old Tollbooth Tavern there, Tollbooth Prison, and then we're looking up the Royal Mile. That is our view, and I think I've done a good job of getting this one this time. If you have a look at the picture, here it is. That is not bad at all. I'm possibly needing to go back a little bit because you can see the top of the spire. You can see the top of the spire. Now obviously it's a different picture, a different type of cameras and everything now, so I might not be able to get this exact same angle, but let's, maybe if I just pan up a little bit. There we go, and we've got the top. That's not bad, that's not bad at all. So see, I can't get the bottom now. We'll look. We can we take it for red that the spire's there? Yep, the spire's there. Good. So let's look down here. Start on the left hand side. Obviously the museum. It looks like the same building, but up here the signage has changed a little bit. But I think, you know what? Maybe it's not the same building. The painting throws you off a little bit. But if you look up here, that may be a bit better. Yeah, if you look up here, this stops, but that is exactly in line with there, Bakehouse Close, which is on this picture. So it looks like this building is at a different date than this. Very slightly. This is ended, because that did used to come all the way across, as we can see in the picture. And this seems to now be a different building. So for some reason, the end of that building came down and a new one got attached onto it that looks very similar. Another obvious change you can see here, that's still there, but that signage up there is gone. It must have just been a little bit of signage that was added on the top there. The policeman was here, he's not there anymore. In fairness, that's fair. It's too difficult to tell up there, but I think our big things to spot are here. That is exactly the same. All of this looks the same. These arches here, they're not there. So that building's changed quite a bit. That's just a completely new building. You can tell by the roof here as well. Look, that is just different. That whole building skyline there is different. This is our main beauty right here. Look at that, that just looks the same. Now, the clock was added in 1884. I don't know the exact time when this picture was taken, but we know it's after 1884 because the clock is on it. But if you notice, there's a massive difference here. because you can see the doorway. You see that doorway? And then in real life, there's nothing here, and then the doorway is to the right if you're looking at it. But in the picture, and we can tell by this window ledge here, see that? The doorway actually came out under there, so they've blocked up the doorway. They've moved the doorway. There is, I don't know if you can see. See, there is a blocked up doorway right there. Can you see that? Let me zoom in. Oh, you can see there is a blocked up doorway there, yeah? But going by the picture, this arch was right down. It came right underneath this bit here. That's interesting. There must have been another door that was blocked up and then the main door closed off. So that's a big difference. But for the most part, this looks the same. It's really the street looks very similar to that original. Really similar. Until you actually start looking. This from difficult to tell exactly. But it's definitely after the Tollbooth Tavern. That's all newer buildings. So we've got to say that those buildings are less than 130, 140 years. Whereas the Tollbooth Tavern is, we know that from when we did the history of the Tollbooth Tavern before, which I will leave a link in the corner if you haven't seen it. We know that that's older than that. This is obviously a decent age as well. Bakehouse Close right there. Except this bit's the younger. Oh, see, don't you just love it? I could sit and do this all day with just this one picture. The horse was here. The horse isn't there anymore, and behind. Oh, just beautiful. But this original picture is stunning, and it's good to see that you could get almost that exact same picture well over 100 years later. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. As I wander up the Royal Mile, socially distanced Easter bunny in the background right there for a socially distanced visit from the kids. That's cool. That's cool. Like I said, things are starting to slowly open up and we're allowed to be out, we're allowed to stay local, we're allowed to wander about. It's nice to see that. It's really nice to see. Okay, I'm going to camp here somewhere. That is the main thoroughfare towards Edinburgh Castle. Witchery Restaurant, Whiskey Heritage, and then the castle essentially. We've got the hub right here. We're actually going to be looking back down the Royal Mile right here. Okay, picture number 2. We are, like I said, right at the top of the Royal Mile. The hub is right beside me. And this is our view right here. Now the wind is coming from behind me, so it's a bit more difficult to hide the microphone, but I'll do my very, very best. Now this might look old, but have a look at the view that we've actually got from the picture. The picture here is actually from 1870. Oh, that wind is really blowing. I really hope you can hear me. I apologise if you can't. That picture here is from 1870. And, you know, at first glance it looks very similar, but then it's completely different. This building here is just a different building. It's right on the same corner, but it's just a different building. There's nothing going back to the 1870 there. It doesn't mean it's not old. Just don't know how old. I can't see, you know, sometimes in these old buildings you can see a date of when it was built, and right in front of me I can't see one. But that is completely different. And then we go down here, that looks different as well. The church here, corner there, that's right, that's spot on. Even that chimney there is different. So all of this is different now. That may be because this picture, and it does look like it, that might be the original West Bow that just went straight down to the Grass Market. The original West Bow was a really, really steep street that they changed to become West Bow and then Victoria Street. That could just be the original West Bow there that went down, which is why all those buildings got knocked down and changed, possibly, or probably around about the same time. That is a guess. That's a guess. I'm not a historian. It's difficult to tell, looking down, if these buildings are the same, because there's scaffolding, so I can't get the exact same sort of skyline-y picture. I can't even tell by the chimneys, because this building is obviously higher, so everything's different there. Everything looks different. And even here you can see those steps in the old picture, and there isn't now. So the view is the same, but at the same time very, 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 very different. So if you're standing here, it looks old, it is old, but it's not as old as it used to be. Does that make sense? Even looking down the Royal Mile there, the picture's faded. I mean, I think I can just make out the corner of St Giles, which is right there. But yeah, that's changed. That has changed, that view. In at least the last 150 years, it's changed. How dare it? Nice to see the churches there, though. At least there's something. And then that street is still there as well. It's just that that used to go all the way straight down to the Grass Market, and now it doesn't. It goes down there, it steps onto Victoria Street. But yeah, that is different. That is very different. You know what? When I first looked at this picture, I knew that this bit was different. And then when I was walking up, knowing that was going to be different, then I wondered if they just changed the frontage of the building. But no, they've changed the entire building, and then the entire building's all the way down. That must be why. It must be because of the creation of Victoria Street and the destruction of West Bow Street. But look at that, oh, it is freezing. There we go, that is number 2. Normally I like to try to find as many differences as possible, but it's very different. It's really, really, really different, and it's really obvious to see. Let's move on to number 3. This is not what I usually do with these then and now pictures, but since that was so different, it just sparked that curiosity in me. I can't help it, because I can see that. You can see the join. You can literally see the join there. Oh, interesting. See, once I get started, I just fall down a rabbit hole. But then right, no. Let's go to the next picture. As I've been walking to the next spot where I've been going to film at, I just went live on Instagram. I was just chatting to a few people as I walked down the Royal Mile, as I walked in this. But it's nice if you joined me on there just as I walked down to the next point. Hi, it was nice to see you. It was nice to chat to you. Follow us on Instagram, because I've never used it like that before, but I think I'm going to do it more often. So yeah, follow on Instagram, and I'll come on and say hi. This is where we are now. This is Cardiff Road. And it's very difficult for me to get the exact angle of this picture because obviously I'm on a camera and I'm filming landscape. The picture is panoramic, so I can't get the whole thing in. So we'll start at the top and we'll work our way down. Just to give you some film reference where we are as well. Here on Cardiff Road, right here, this is the epic Trainspotting scene. Renton and Spud at the beginning of Trainspotting run down these steps, very famously jumps round this corner and runs down here, and then Renton almost gets hit by a car right here. The car pulls out, Renton stops and he's looking in the window laughing. That was right here. And then Spud continues on running down the road. So that's just give you a little film reference right there to where we're at. But yeah, you know what, apart from this wall here, we're not going to see a lot of differences. If we look up here right now, that is Waterloo Place, okay? That road is Waterloo Place. If you walk down that road, down there, you get to Princes Street. So actually into this building, that street level of that building right there, that hotel, which I think is a Waterloo Hotel. I'm not 100%, but I think so. But yeah, so that's where we are. And if you look at the picture, right there, it's the same. It is exactly the same. Again, I don't know exactly when this picture was taken. I found it and it was beautiful, and I went, we've got to use that. But that's the same, just because of the nature of the picture. We're not going to get it exact. But that is the same. Even the building in the background here, even the building through there, that chimney, it's the same chimney. I'm not exactly at the same angle. He may be standing on the road, which I don't want to do. I mean, I can even the fence. See the fence there? I can still see that fence. So that's exactly the same. There is no difference there, and that's obviously the same building as well. That's really nice to see that is exactly the same. And as we pan down, obviously the whole look underneath there is the same as well. The only difference here is Not got something, not got a horse and cart and things there. In the wall, oh, I need to pan across a bit. The wall, as you can see, is still broken. And it's broken in the original picture. The only thing I think is different is the wall is a bit more broken now. Or is it? Ah, look, that looks like steps. This here looks like far newer steps. So I actually don't think the brick wall has broke much more than it is in that picture. That's I know it's a random reference. Ah, haha, wait a minute, people. Look at the front of this building. Look at the facade of the front of that and the front of the original. There's an arched door in the original there. There's a up. That is the same. That is the same looking up. But for some reason, this front of that bit of building right there has been changed. And actually, let me zoom in. Look, there's the arch. You can see the arch, or at least the remembrance, the remnants of it. I can't see, maybe that line right there, maybe that line right there, at the bottom of my finger, that darker line is maybe the top, I'm going to call it a shop, top of the frontage, but that arch, that's amazing. You can still see the weathering of the brickwork. So for some reason, the frontage of that building has been taken down and changed. Why does anyone know? Again, I'm not a historian, but I don't see, unless it was damaged, unless it became dangerous, because that looks like brickwork in the picture. I could be wrong, because it doesn't look like there's no brickage attachment for it there apart from the original ledge. But does anyone know why that would be changed? That's interesting. That is really interesting. You know what? I actually really like the fact that the brick is still the same. Obviously, the road is no longer cobbled, but the corner, it's the same corner right there. That lamppost. Can we zoom in to the top of that lamppost? Does that look the same to you guys? Yeah, okay, the light has been changed. But is that the same? That looks the same, doesn't it? I mean, that is an old lamppost if you look at it. That is an old lamppost. I think that's the same as well. Look at this, I'm getting excited about a lamppost, but that looks the same. Oh, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. I see. If I can, obviously this isn't going to be exactly the same, but if I keep walking backwards, we'll try to get the full. Yeah. That looks like it. There we go. Even up here, maybe I wasn't far enough up. Even there, I get better shape of that building there. Obviously, this is different, so that's always going to be a bit of a pain because that looks like a fence in the original picture. But the rest of it, that looks good. What do you think? We've got more of here. We've got more of this. That wasn't there in the original. That's exciting. That is really exciting. So, as far as we can tell, all of this is still original. That's original, that's original, this is still original. That's original, but for some reason they've changed the frontage. The lamppost looks like the same friggin' lamppost. They've just changed the fitting, and even the wall has still got the same bit of broken there. The only thing that's missing is the horse and cart. Oh, love it. Don't you just love it? Plus, you know, Trainspotting. So there we have it, guys. We haven't done that for absolutely ages. I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. I'm underneath the bridge now. That was brilliant. I loved that. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. It's nice to see so much staying the same. You know what I mean? That generations ago, my ancestrage, there's a brilliant chance that they could have walked down the exact same street with no difference. Don't you just love that? I love that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, as always, please remember, leave a like, leave a comment. Please subscribe if you haven't already, as we crawl our way towards 10,000 subscribers. It would be amazing if you could come join Clan Broonford. It would mean the world. But wherever you are, look after yourself. Till next time, bye humans.